Hi guys, how you doing? It's me, Sam. I thought I'd take a walk out in the great outdoors today. Nice snowy, sunny day here in Canada. And I thought I'd tell you about my new album, Electric Classical. So this is a 10-track album that I've recorded all by myself in my home studio. And it's 10 tracks of some of my favourite classical pieces by some of my favourite composers. There's some Bach pieces on there. There's some pieces by a guy called Fernando Sor, as well as a few others. So I thought I'd play you some snippets of these pieces. And the video that you'll see is the actual takes of these that I did. So it's not the final mixes, but you'll be watching the actual takes that I recorded. So here we go. Okay, so that track has always been a bit of an all-time favourite of mine. I've always enjoyed listening to that. So it's from a Bach prelude with a melody which was added later by someone else. I used my SRV Strat to do the Bach part, and I used my blue Super Strat to put the melody over. Did some volume swells with my pinky, played with the bar, kind of feeling inspired by Jeff Beck to do some sort of whammy bar things. Hope you like it. That one just there, that's another piece by Bach, and that's kind of the quintessential prelude that he wrote for the cello in the key of D. I think it translates nicely to the guitar. Okay, so that was the first piece on the album by Fernando Sor, who is one of my favourite composers. He actually composed for the classical guitar, unlike Bach, who predates the guitar. So Sor had an incredible understanding of chords, and I just love the way he strings those chords together. It's always a pleasure playing that stuff. Okay, Recuerdos. This is a very well-known classical piece, and it's what you'd call a tremolo piece, where, you know, the classical guitar player would do a really fast tremolo thing using his fingers. and I don't have that ability, so I did it on two guitars. I did it on my SRV doing the chords, and I used one of my super strats for the melody. And again, I did lots of whammy bar stuff and lots of volume swelling stuff to give it a bit of a contemporary feel. Hope you like it. Okay, so this is a piece from Venezuela, and I love the melody. It's got a really strong melody, and at the same time it's incredibly chromatic. So yeah, just a real joy to play. I don't know how people can compose stuff like that, but it's a lot of fun for me to figure it out and to play it through. So this piece is by Fernando Sor as well. It's the longest piece on the album, and it was tricky to figure this one out because it's so long. It's one of the hardest things for me is to remember these because I'm learning them from my ear. I can't read music, so it was tricky learning this one, but I'm pleased with how it turned out. Okay, so this is something I've been playing around with for years. I've stolen some chords from Beethoven, and I'm playing some blues over the top, so a bit of a contemporary classical blues type fusion. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, so another Bach piece. I recorded this back in England, quite a well-known piece. I tried to slow it down a little bit to give it a bit of a different feel. Yeah, hope you dig it. Hey, another Fernando Sor piece. This one's got a particularly tricky B section, which I tried to do a little bit faster to give it a bit of a sort of tension type feel. I like how these pieces convert to the electric guitar. I quite like the sustain that the electric guitar has over the classical guitar. So I think that worked quite nicely. This last piece is called Romance. It's an old Spanish piece. It's actually so old that no one knows who wrote it. I teach this to a lot of my students, so I thought it would be fun to put on the album. I tuned it up to G, just to give my guitar a bit more tension on the lower strings to keep it in tune better. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, so thanks for watching my video. I'll leave some links in the description of where you can get the album. And thanks for all the support, guys. I'll see you soon. Cheers.